City won the treble. Good morning. This is early. It's too early for a video. Got out of bed. Saw the Paqueta news was serious that I saw last night, just as I was putting my phone down and go to sleep and all. And I thought, I've got to jump on, haven't I? I'm absolutely knackered. I look scruffy and wearing the fleece. But you know what? Let's talk Lucas Paqueta, because this has come with the Ornstein cosign, which means it's a very serious bit of news, you know. And it's like City have set their sights on a new midfielder, basically. Now, we've all been saying that we need a winger, or maybe that we need a midfielder if Foden or Bernardo goes out wide. And it looks like this could be the man. Who is he? If you don't know who he is, of course, he's a West Ham player, Brazilian international, 25-year-old attacking midfielder. Sort of stroke, you know, like defensive midfielder, stroke central midfielder. Very complete. West Ham, of course, signed him for big money from Lyon. Before that, he was at AC Milan, Flamengo over in Brazil. He's already been pretty well trodden in his career. Definitely got a lot of experience. 42 games for Brazil. A silky, gifted, technically excellent player. Take a penalty as well, by the way, which is really nice. And one that Manchester City were apparently watching quite intently when he was over at Lyon. Obviously, Lyon means plenty of good experience at AC Milan as well, at a high level in European competition. And of course, as well, he played the assist. That infamous Jared Bowen goal as West Ham won the Europa Conference League last year. He was the one that slid a beautiful through ball for what it's worth through, and Bowen raced away and put it in the back of the net. So he comes with a pretty decent pedigree already. And my honest reaction is, I don't know how to feel about this. That's it. I just do not know how to feel about this. Probably a combination of it being late at night and early morning when I'm trying to process this news. So I'm not too sure where my head's at with all this kind of stuff. I am trying to work out how I feel about it. It does create questions. It's one of those transfers that would solve problems, but also pose a billion questions. And those transfers are quite confusing. And there's a temptation to talk about Phil Foden playing through the middle, as I did on Twitter, as T's just done in the comments right now. And maybe we should probably just forget about doing that, you know? Like, maybe we should just look about, like, do we have the players? Because I'm looking at it through the prism of, well, who's going to play where? Whereas surely the best way of looking at it, if we sign this guy, is do we have the players then to actually get Pep, you know, flying with his team? And I think we probably would. I think we would do. Is Paqueta of Manchester City quality? I think he's a Pep Guardiola quality. I actually do believe that. Like, I've been watching him this morning. Not him personally. I've not been following him around like in London, going, "Where you going, Lucas? What are you doing coming to Manchester?" Now, I've been watching him on YouTube this morning and like working out. Like, would he suit Manchester City Football Club and all that kind of stuff? Stylistically, he would. Very technical, versatile, smart player. He is creative as well. He is. He's got a wonderful assist in him. He can play in a number of positions. He would be as an 8. Absolutely would be an 8. It's, yeah, as Ollie said in the chat, maybe he'd be the winger, knowing Pep, because Pep's a mad so-and-so. He is indeed. But how do people feel about it? Like, T, for example, says that Paqueta's class, he's creative, he has that final third pass flair, and of course, them celebrations. Yeah, we need some Brazilian samba, you know, like samba magic and dancing back at the team, maybe, I guess. He seems like a good guy for what it's worth. He's very popular. The thing is, of course, he wouldn't be cheap. Now, I'll go through the stories. I'll sort of show where this all unfolded. Now, of course, the biggest cosign. Do you know what? I'll go from the top. Let's go from the top. It came around. God, I have not even mentioned about, because I was out yesterday about Walker and Bernardo. It's good news, isn't it? But it came around late last night via these, who are a massive Brazilian news site, apparently. And they were also apparently very reliable, you know? Yeah, that's him dancing. So apparently it came around last night, and it's been corroborated since then. By a few people. And of course, as well, I've got to give my man Tolmy a credit. I know Tolmy, he's a top bloke. He actually said 4 days ago, he said West Ham Brazil midfielder Paqueta could be available at a big price this month. It's been touted City. Tiny player, but perhaps below the crowd thoughts. Either way, Tolmy did say that 4 days ago, and I thought people were just reacting to that. TalkSport went on it last night as well, but I thought everyone was just reacting to that. And he said this morning, on Paqueta's side, they believe an offer of 70 million would see their man leave. It's a lot of money, but the player wants out, and his people are desperate to put together a deal with City, knowing our previous interest. Also, do me a favour, please go and give that a retweet. It would be massively appreciated. That right there. If you're on Twitter, help support the channel, retweet the video. Thank you, because I'm doing a video at this time of the morning. Then it came as well. Then Sammy Mockbell, the chief football reporter of the Daily Mail. I say one about the Mail, but he's the chief reporter, and he went with it last night. So he confirmed this morning that City have launched a $70 million offer for Paqueta. West Ham are determined to keep the player. City are actively trying to sign Paqueta ahead of the transfer deadline, pushing to complete a deal. And Ornstein this morning also went with a co-sign as well. Now Ornstein's a very reliable man, obviously, like the football correspondent, the big transfer fella. And he said City are exploring a deal to sign Lucas Paqueta from West Ham. No formal offer yet, but the interest is firm. And 25-year-old Brazilian international is an option for City. I'll click on that. Let's have a read of that. It says City are exploring a deal to sign West Ham midfielder. City to make a formal offer yet to make a formal offer, but the reigning Premier League champions hold a firm interest in Brazilian international as Pep wants to strengthen his midfield. They don't want to sign him. Obviously, they've lost. They don't want to sell him. Obviously, they've lost Declan Rice, the ability to Ward-Prowse, and of course McTominay as well. So a lot to take in. Do you Paqueta? Good morning, everyone, as well. By the way, everyone who's joining. Who's joining? We've got. Who we got in the chat? I'm just going to read the last names on screen. Jamie, Ilya, Konip, T, Jake, Dale, Kian, Vinay, Ibrahim, Tone, Labode, Mr. Massive Favour, RGS. It's good and Nicholas. It's good to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining me at this time of day, wherever it is, wherever you're all watching. Could you do us a massive favour, by the way? Could you please hit the like button on this video? It does help. Good morning, Matt, as well. It does help support the channel massively. And while you're at it, if you're a big fan of this content, I need 43 more subscribers to get to 67,500, so please do hit the subscribe button too. So, Lucas Paqueta. What would we make of Lucas Paqueta? Like, would he be the man? Would he be the man for you? Like, obviously he's got, he has got pedigree. He's a good player. It is going round this morning that he could come in. And what my temptation to do always when something like this happens is then to think about, well, how would this affect the squad? And so what I'll do quickly is I always have to put blue on there. I have to do it. It comes as default red. Remember, please, lineup builder. I'll have to try and just build it and see what we feel about this, because I feel like it's the best way to envision it is to build it, and then we'll see how it goes, and then see if it feels like realistic, with the squad. So let's immediately just put. I'm gonna have to do probably initials. That'll be Yosko, Ake. This will be over here. I mean, currently Laporte's there, but I'm just going to put Diaz for now. This will be probably Stones, and then Stones and Akanji, I guess. Stones, Akanji. This will be Walker over here. Maybe Rico. I know he's going to be a midfielder, but I'm going to put him back there. This would be, of course, I think Kovacic should be the backup now, Rod, Kov, Phillips, I'll put KP. I guess over here, I think, who would be a winger? Who does everyone reckon would be a winger? What's the Paqueta song? Is that actually a song? So T's just put "Just Soldier Star" Lucas Paqueta. Yeah, I'm with you, Alistair. I'm like, I didn't get up for this. Maybe I need time to come around to it, because there's been plenty of transfers, by the way, where my initial reaction has been, but then eventually, it's kind of sunk in with me. I think it'll be Bernardo, by the way, because he's played there before. I think it'll be that. I think this will be JG Gomez. This will be, would it be this? KDB. Maybe it's going to be this. So KDB, Phil, and then Paquet, and then, cover. Wait, there you go, like that. Paquet, Kov, and then this will be Rodri and Phillips. I mean, when you start to see that now, by the way, that squad does look pretty, obviously the big man up here, Erling, Julian. When you see that right now, the squad does look a lot more balanced, doesn't it? Don't forget Phil can play on the left as well. Maybe Oscar Bob will stay. And the squad just looks a lot more well-rounded, doesn't it? It doesn't look stressful anymore, McAtee, of course, as well, if he hangs around. I mean, I've added, like, the immediate I'll put McAtee in as well somewhere. Though I think he'll go on loan if this happens, by the way. I'm sorry. I'll put JM there as well. But I'm thinking about players who will stay around. I'll put Cole. I'll put Oscar out here. OB. I'll put Bernardo. Yeah, there we go. So all of a sudden that squad looks pretty balanced, I would say. It's not too bad. Don't add Gomez. No, don't be harsh, mate. Don't be harsh on Gomez, everyone. Let's give him another season. You know, he's a smart footballer. As a backup, you know, look, if Gomez, put it this way. If we were playing Luton, you know, and we had our strongest team out, I'm sure Gomez would be totally fine if someone needed a rest. So let's be fair, you know, let's be fair. Let's be fair. I'm not saying he's going to start against Man United, but as a backup, as a left wing backup in a lower level, I haven't put Laporte and Cancelo in because I think they're both going, unfortunately. I think we need. But I know we feel like we need wingers, but I guess we could turn around and say, well, Bernardo's just a winger. By the way, Bernardo is literally a Champions League semi-final, Champions League final, treble-winning winger, where he played against Real Madrid and scored 2 out wide. So we've got to be fair to Bernardo Silva here, you know. And Bernardo Silva just giving a license just to dribble at people. I like it. So when you see this kind of squad right now, that's a reassuring amount of players, I would say. Like, it does, even though I want to see a winger come in, I can't deny all of a sudden that that's a lot more balanced. You know, like, for what it's worth, by the way, I think Calvin Phillips gets even closer to the door. Like, I don't know if he'll go, but T reckons maybe Pep could put Paqueta out wide as a right winger. And to be honest, like, I don't want to be a hypocrite here, because I was saying to Asam, my mate, obviously, you know, from the channel, from 9320 Pod, I was saying yesterday in reply to him on Twitter that I'm at the point now where I feel like we just need a quality player to allow us to move someone around or whatever. And I feel like as long as we're giving quality players, Pep will find a way. So this does fit that box. You know, this is a quality footballer. And like, Paqueta clearly is a quality player. And if he's here, we can find a way, you know. So I can't be a hypocrite here, because he does fit what I'm saying yesterday. Yeah, as Mohammed said, please do hit the like button. Don't forget the likes. It does help support the channel massively. Basically, the more you like the video, even if you think the videos are alright, you know, YouTube go, people watch that video. Let's send it to other people. And you know what? My little one starts nursery in October. I could do with the help, because it's expensive. Alf says, got an assist, 2 key passes, 1 big chance created for West Ham in the Champions League. Not Champions League final. European Conference League final last year. Yeah, exactly what I mean. Alston, mate. It's a good point. You know, you can't really say he's not got a big game mentality. And to be honest, the one thing I will say is he starts for Brazil. And that is a good sign. I know Jesus plays a lot for Brazil as well, but then to be honest, he was a multiple trophy winner as well. Like, the thing is for me is that, like, if you play for Brazil regularly as a midfielder, you come with a pedigree immediately, because the expectations on Brazilian players it's enormous. Like, there's an understanding there that you have to step up. And as Nadir just said in the comments as well, he was one of the best players at the World Cup. Yeah, he was excellent. He really was. Nadir also said, Jason Steinberg says that Paqueta is unsettled at West Ham and wants to move to City. If there's a chance this happens, Paqueta pushes through the move. Yeah, I think he does too. Let's go and find that, mate. What's Jacob said? Jacob's got, like, good links to West Ham, I think. There we go. Here we go. This is what Jacob said. Jacob Steinberg says, reports in Brazil about City targeting Lucas Paqueta are correct. West Ham facing a battle to hold on to him would be a huge blow for the losing midfielder, but going to be difficult if City push hard. But then at the same time, they are closer to signing Ward-Prowse. You know, you win one, you lose one. He says, City, I've been looking at Paqueta since the middle of last season, so this hasn't come out of nothing. West Ham determined not to sell him, but it's going to be hard to keep Paqueta away from Pep. Way up £70 million. There we go. It says, they face a battle. Pep is looking to strengthen. Of course, Paqueta would want a drawing. City could test the result by making a £70 million bid, but it's not been done yet, apparently. Apparently, he's grown and settled, considering his future. 51 million he's signing for, and he's become a bit of a favourite after a slow start. 5 goals last season, became more influential in the final third. He's creative talent. He delivered the assist for Bowen to score, yeah. Yeah, basically, that's a good point. Like, Paqueta is a guy who wants to be in control, and they're a sit back and counter team, you know. So it's not always been his best football at there, but obviously he's still a quality player. But for them, like, you know, to lose Rice and Paqueta, it's just massive, man. 25 is a great age in the modern era, I would say. It's not a horrific age at all. 25 is... Well, I would say 25 is more or less a peak Manchester City age, because that comes with several years of... he's got a back catalogue, do you know what I mean? We've seen this man's breakout. We've seen his debut album. We've seen him established as a mainstream artist, you know. We've seen him now, you know, he's ready for his... I'm trying to think of like a band that had, by the third album, went massive. All I can think of, because I'm an old man, is Muse on Absolution era, and that's all I can think of. But like, can anyone else think of a better analogy? But either way, he's had 2 pretty good albums, and he's about to go global. Apparently, Fabrizio's tweeted. Let's see what Fabrizio's saying. Where's Fab? There he is. Fab's gone for it as well. They've all gone for it now. Man City have approached West Ham with verbal discussion over 70 million package. Not enough. Deal not easy, but City will try again. Guardiola has been a fan of Paqueta. Player keen after he picked Rock Nation Brazil's new agents recently. Well, he's had his little spin there on it. So there we go. It seems, by all intents and purposes, that this is a very, very realistic option. I mean, 70 million is a lot. The problem is, Enzo Fernandez, 105 million. Declan Rice, 105 million. We've just spent 90 million on Josco Vardial. 70 million. It's an awful lot of money. Ruben Diaz was 66 million, by the way. You know, Rodri, 60 million. The thing is, he's 25 years old. We spent Grealish on 100 million. Like, I know they're very different players, but what I'm saying is, like, we don't really have a pot to piss in and say that we can't afford it. We've just won the treble, and we're replacing Gundogan. You know, like, it's... For what it's worth, by the way, Paqueta, Vardial, and Kovacic for, what, 170 million total is not the worst thing in the world, you know. Like, how much is it? Why is my head blanked? So 77, 30, 107, yeah, about 170 million for the 3 of them is not the worst thing. I missed some super chats, by the way. I'm so sorry. Where's the super chat gone? Why is it not showing on there? Why is it not showing the super chats? There we go. Ayagamid says, why is anyone looking at Zubimendi? Mate, I would be lying if I said I knew anything about him, so someone else will have to tell me about him. He's the Sociedad guy, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, I don't recognise his name. I don't know much about. I've not watched him play. I know him because I've looked at the lineups with David Silva plenty of times and sitting there alongside him. But I wouldn't know any much more about him, to be honest, mate. Is he good enough to play for Manchester City? Obviously, he's obviously a good player if he's playing regularly for Sociedad alongside David Silva, because you have to be. You got a David Silva magic, but maybe he's a good asset, maybe a good potential signing, mate. But let us know in the comments what you make of Aya's suggestion there. Another one from Ty's stepbro. As in Ty Arsenal Fan TV stepbro. City was looking at Paqueta last year to replace Bernardo, so I think Pep wants him. Do you think if City gets him, then Foden will be pushed on the wing? Almost certainly, mate. Almost certainly. Well, maybe I think Bernardo Silva will. Yeah, I reckon so. Maybe Foden's just as a left winger still. Like, I'll jump over to that lineup in a second, Ty. But yeah, I think there's a real chance that. No, I think Bernardo is our right winger then, and then Palmer's the backup. And I reckon you see Kovacic as the alternate to Rodri. Then you've got Foden, De Bruyne, and Paqueta as our attacking midfielders options. You know, like, obviously Kovacic will play as an 8 as well every now and then. But I think you see that basically. You just sold your car, Moody. Just sold my car. Even I know that advert. Well done, Moody. How much did you sell your car for? That is an advert in the UK where it's really annoying if you're based that you hear it on the radio times. Like, just sold my car. Is it? I don't know. It's so annoying. So bloody annoying. Anyway, this is how I see it, mate. When you look at the squad depth over here, I mean, it could be that Phil is still out here. Still, on the left. But I've got here. Obviously, you see the depth looks pretty decent. To be fair, Stefan Ortega, Edison, Yosko, and Ake at the left. Diaz, Stones, Akanji, the centre back options. Walker and Rico on the right. Rodri, Calvin Phillips, and you've got Paqueta, Kovacic, McAtee, De Bruyne, Phillips, Silva, Cole Palmer, Oscar Bob, Grealish, Gomez. Maybe it could be Phil out there as well, and Erling and Julian. All of a sudden, it does look pretty good. Maybe Phil just starts on the. Is that the Paqueta song? Wait, is that literally? How does it go? Just sold our star to Paqueta. Is that literally? Wait, did they have a song about that? Am I making it up? His family have a car. Alistair, don't mess with me, mate. Do they actually have a car dealership? Or are you all winding me up here? Stop it. It's 9 a.m. I'm too tired to be wound up like this. Apparently it's a real thing. Okay. I didn't know that. Unless everyone's just in on it. Okay, how does it go? How does it actually go in terms of because that sold my car to Lucas Paqueta. Paqueta. Sold my car to Lucas Paqueta. Sounds a bit wordy. Did they cut out Lucas or is it just to Paqueta? I'm gonna have to Google this, man. I'm gonna have to listen to it. Lucas Paqueta song. Right. I've been driving in my car. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, that's a wild song. Okay, I've never heard that before, but I'm just listening to it, and you're all right. That is actually the song. I mean, I can't say I love it, but either way, there we go. That's the Paqueta song. Could you hear that then, by the way? It's very West Ham, innit? It's very West Ham. You know what, geezer? The Hammer's in it. It's a bit London for me. The song sounds like you need to go with, yeah, Anyway, Lucas Paqueta, will he sign for Manchester City Football Club? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I do think this is obviously real. The more I think about it, the more I chat to you guys, the more I come round to it. And ultimately, when I look at that bunch of players on screen here right now, I see a team that can. Win the league. I see a team that can absolutely has the depth. Then And let's look at the serious options. I'm going to be really cruel here and take out some options that I don't see as serious. Like KP, he's not serious, unfortunately, mate. I'm removing the serious options. I'm going to remove James for now. I'm sorry, James, but I mean this in the best possible sense. That Guardiola would start regularly, you know what I mean? He would. I'm moving him. I think he'd start Cole. I think Cole's there. Oscar Bob's not there yet. Rico, I mean, they're the serious options, I would say. And that's not too bad, is it? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's a lot better. Now, these are the ones I think that Pep wouldn't have. Maybe it's 18. But either way, that feels better, doesn't it, instinctively? And obviously, you still have to use... Obviously, you have to use young players as well still. But it feels a little bit more... Yeah, it feels a bit healthier. It feels a bit healthier. Get a winger in as well, man. Why not? Go big. Get Matoma in. Imagine we got Matoma in as well, and all of a sudden you've got this. Like, look at that all of a sudden. How good does that feel all of a sudden? It feels nice, doesn't it? Feels nice. That feels nice all of a sudden. But it ain't going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen. I would love that. 18 with outfield with Phillips looks good. It does look good, you know. Iptris, I mean, it literally is good enough, mate, when you think about what we did last season. Like, I mean, I think there's... Like, bear in mind, it would have just been just Gundogan and Mahrez going. Like, Mahrez was a squad player in the end. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't, as good as Mahrez was, I think Bernardo and Foden out wide are just as good enough replacements. And then Gundogan, I think Paqueta and Kovacic pick up the Gundogan slack. I really do believe that. I do believe that. But I mean, yeah, but we always have a small squad up, just so that's just how it is. I think Cole should stay. And I'm with Alster, like, Josko, Kov, we just, wingers a caveat there, but Josko, I mean, even Josko, Kov, Paqueta, Bernardo, and Walker extension is pretty brilliant win as well. Yeah, and I do agree with Nadir as well. I think Paqueta is the kind of player who would absolutely improve massively. And he's got end product as well. Let's look at his stats throughout his career, by the way. Let me try and find him. Let me find his stats throughout his career. I'll just jump over here now. Go back to Wikipedia. Where are we at? Sold my car to Lucas Paqueta. It's a bit wordy for me, but what do I know? Not a great goal scorer. I mean, he scored quite a few at Lyon. 1 in 4, 1 in 3 nearly at one point. Man can score goals. He can score goals. He knows how to score goals. What about his record for Brazil? What's his Brazilian record? Oops, I've gone the wrong way. What's his Brazil record? So my car. Yeah, 1 in 4, basically 9. He's got 9 in 42. Yeah, he's a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer. That will do. That will do indeed. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. We will see how this Storius. Storius? Oh god, I'm tired. We'll see how this story develops. Will Paqueta join the treble winners? I don't know. You don't know. We will see. For now, though, it seems very serious, and I would be happy with this squad, I reckon. Bye bye.